Good Monday morning. Happy St. Patrick's Day, Jimmy. Today, folks, we have with us Mike Engleman. If you don't know who Mike is, you might know him by his ex account at Real Hickory. He's here to join us to tell us about swatting. It happened to him and his wife. If you don't know what swatting is, we'll get into the details of that. But it happened to him early in the morning this past Friday. And what's taken place since then and in the aftermath and the danger of what swatting truly is. He's here to tell his story. So stay tuned for that. And at the end of the show, Jim, man, I'm telling you, top 5 sports dynasties.
I like this one.
You may be shocked at some of mine, buddy. So stay tuned for that. We have a couple stories in between. But first, Mike will be here on what, Jim? What is this?
Live from the Patriot Prayer Network studios.
Correct.
It's 2 guys. 1 kid.
Be right back. Again, good Monday morning. Happy St. Patrick's Day. We're going to get right to Mike. He's got limited time today, so we want to make sure he gets his story in. But in case you don't know, again, it's Mike Engleman. You might know him on X as Real Hickory. He's the latest conservative patriot to fall victim to swatting. It's a criminal act where the radical left, they're making false emergency phone calls to local authorities. The authorities show up at your house, guns drawn in most cases. And what a dangerous scenario that could turn into. Jim, if you could bring Mike up, let's get him in here and he can tell his story. Mike, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you again for joining us. Boy, your only crime is being a patriot of this country. And for that, you were a latest victim of swatting. Can you walk us through what happened that evening? And then we'll talk about the after effects of this on people, such as yourself and your wife.
Well, thank you for having me on.
Our pleasure.
Needless to say, it's been an interesting last few days. I was actually on a Spaces on X Thursday night, and it was specifically dedicated to swatting because there were several swats done on Thursday. Of course, we know who some of those are.
Yep.
Ian and Sean and Nick Sorter and Gunther down in Texas.
Yep.
And then it was, I think that was a late night Spaces around 9-10 o'clock. But anyway, needless to say, we hit the hay about 11. And at 1:30 in the morning or so, somewhere around that time, our doorbell rang. And we've lived at the same place for, 40 years. Doorbells never ring in the middle of the night in a small town unless it's a emergency call from law enforcement about, potential accident or death in the family or something else. So my wife was alarmed. She heard the doorbell. I didn't. I heard the second doorbell. I said, who in the world could that possibly be? And she was frantic. And so I said, I'll go up and check it out. So I slowly walked up to the front of the house. We have street lights across the road and I could see a shadow on the porch. So I turned the outside light on and I seen an officer or a gentleman in uniform. So I slowly opened the door and there was a sheriff's deputy standing on the front porch to the left of the door and another officer on the sidewalk brandishing a weapon. The officer on the porch, they weren't pointing it or anything. He had his hand on his holster. And I said, "Hey guys, what's up?" And they said, "Well, we kind of wanted to know what was up with you." And I said, "Well, we're like everybody around here. We're in bed at this time of the hour, asleep." He goes, "Well, we got a call on our landline to the 911 that you were holed up in your home with a gun, holding people hostage, and had shot your daughter on the upstairs level of the house."
Wow.
I said, "Well, as you can see, we don't have an upstairs level of the house,
Yeah.
and our daughter hasn't lived
Personally.
here in over 20 years."
Yeah.
So I said, this evidently is swatting. And they said they heard the term, contacted the sheriff prior to coming over, and the sheriff told them the same thing, but go ahead and check it out. They asked me a few questions. They wanted to make sure everything was good. I said, "Hey, it's good. There's no problem here." I said, "This has been going on across the country in the last 24 hours, different places." I said, "I'm surprised I'm being swatted because I'm not of the same caliber of, I don't have the platform some of these other people do." And they didn't really register with them, but I was talking in the lingo of what we deal with being on X. So I said, "Everything's good. Appreciate you coming by." And matter of fact, the 911, the caller was still on the line as they were there. So they said it was an 869 prefix. We kind of Googled that, and it's in the Caribbean, St. Kitts area. It wasn't in domestic United States. They stayed about 15, 20 minutes. My wife couldn't get back to sleep, and I didn't sleep much either. So went on, of course, the word spread. And then people were trying to suggest that, everybody's faking these swatting calls. You don't fake something like that.
No.
You don't fake report it. So went through the day. My wife was pretty upset all day. She still is pretty upset. She says, "I'm living in fear now." I said, "No, we're not going to live in fear." I said, this is about intimidation. It's about getting you to shut up." And I said, "I'm not shutting up. We're living our lives the way we've always lived it. We'll just be more cognizant of our surroundings, of course," which we are. But this is such a small community. I was really, really surprised, and I didn't want it getting out in the community, but it did. A lot of people know I'm on X. So as the day went on, I was contacted by our police department chief and said an FBI special agent wanted to talk to me and would I be willing. So I said, "Sure." So they gave me his number. I called him. It was his personal cell. He's out of the Indianapolis FBI bureau office. And he asked me several questions. I forgot to ask him how he got wind of this. I didn't have the presence of mind at the time to ask that question, but he was very supportive. He said Cash Patel put out a directive on Friday morning that we're going to investigate these swatting calls nationally. Made it a top priority, like in their top 5 priority. Asked me a lot of questions. Asked if anybody local would have done this, and the deputies that were there asked me the same question. I said, "No, I don't think this is too sophisticated." I said, "This is orchestrated, and it's all targeted at social media influencers on the conservative side." But I said, "I don't think it's anybody local. I would know if it was." But I did ask them to investigate, see if they could track down where the call came from. And then, so now that the FBI is involved, he was going to contact them and get that information. He assured me that they would do everything they could to find out who it was, bring him to justice, understanding too that they may never find out who these people are, but they will do what they can, due diligence. So in the meantime, my wife says we got to get a security system, so we're getting one. She's still upset, but we're getting through it. It's fine. I'm in good shape. I know it has more of effect on the women, and that's that's understandable. None of our children live at home anymore. So that's basically where things are at today. And then Friday night I was on a podcast, or Spaces, I guess, with Steve, and he was talking about these pizza delivery deals, and I guess Juanita Broderick and others. So at 10 o'clock Friday night, we get a pizza delivery.
Oh boy.
So I said I didn't order the pizza, and I went down to the Papa John's office store and asked them who called it in, how it was, and they said it was an online order. They used the sheriff's department number as the contact. So that happened to 2 or 3 other people about the same
Did they?
time frame. They put the local law enforcement telephone number. They couldn't track the purchase, where the purchase came from. So that's what happened there, and that's where things are at. And we're doing good.
Wow.
And so
I'm glad
shocked
I'm
that
glad
it
you
happened
guys
to
are
me in
doing
a
good.
small town.
Yeah. Yep.
It's-
Thank God. Exactly right.
Yeah.
I am glad you're doing good. The whole pizza delivery thing is just,
We
it's
used
just
to do
bizarre.
that.
In it.
Used to do that in middle school.
Yeah.
That was yeah.
it's just another way to disrupt and intimidate in a way. Somebody knows where I live. I'm sure that's the whole point of it. We know how to, maybe get to you, something like, whatever their intimidation tactics are. It's terrorism. It is,
Yep.
because somebody's, unfortunately, to my knowledge, and Mike, maybe you know more, to my knowledge, nobody has gotten shot during one of these swatting moments yet. But it's just a matter of time before something like that happens. You can get startled in the middle of the night.
Yep.
If you're like a lot of, God-fearing, Second Amendment, American citizens, you're going to probably grab your weapon. And that's really all law enforcement really needs to see, is somebody brandishing a weapon when something like that's going to happen, which
And
is what their goal is.
But that I was going to say, that's what they want. I mean,
Yeah.
they want fear. It's the left. They want to strike fear and to scare people away from being MAGA,
Being
from
vocal, being patriotic,
because for some reason, being patriotic has become a public statement, or not a public, sorry, a political statement, and it's not. Being patriotic is not political. Shouldn't be, but all of a sudden now it is. When you say you're patriotic, now all of a sudden you're MAGA. Most of the time, that is what it is.
That's what it is. It's anything that has to do with that. Go on, Jim. You got a question?
So what do you have for the listeners that you want to let them know, that, because we have people out there that have a lot of followers, and it looks like that's what they're doing. They're going out to the influencers who have a lot of followers. So, what suggestion can you give to them, if any, because, this is new and we really don't know what to do, but what would be your suggestion on how people could handle this, getting the late night answering of the door or the phone call? Like, you got a phone call because you were from the area, but if it's a bigger city where maybe they don't know, they're not calling. So what would be your recommendation for that?
Well, first of all, you got to stay calm, understand the circumstance that you're being swatted. Sean had a good idea. He said when his SWAT happened, he actually called the local authorities, let them know that everything was fine. He was going to go to the door. There would be no weapon brandished. So that's what I would suggest. No, just open the door, stand there, and be calm.
Don't be reaching for
understand what they're
anything.
saying. Don't go fly off the handle and be all upset, but show them calmness and that you understand what's going on. If you get the pizza delivery business, I did call the sheriff's department after that pizza order came and reported it to them. They said, that's odd. We just got a call from Papa John's asking if we ordered pizza. And we said no. And I said, I'm letting you know, this is either letting you know that they're going to try to SWAT again, or just let me know that they know where I live. But if you get a call that there's an incident at our residence, do not send law enforcement. It's nothing. And they said they would. So I don't know if there was another call placed in later that night but it really upset me more than the actual SWAT, because it was like, here they come targeting again. And it didn't help my wife any at all. It made her more nervous.
Yeah.
And the same thing happened to Beard Vet. Last night, he got swatted.
Saw it on X.
But he's been working with his local authorities, trying to help everybody, because we're all in the same circle. We're all friends. We follow each other, and we connect and we engage and the whole deal. So, that's where I think my connection came in, is I'm friends with all these big accounts. We follow, engage, and share each other's content. So I think I just got wrapped into that, swatting through that process, if that makes sense.
Through that process. And then probably on that, you were talking about the spaces the night before. The bearded vet, was he on there as well on that space? Or I was just seeing if it was just targeted to those people that were on that particular space at the time, or were you the only one that was on that what they used to call Twitter Spaces, but X Spaces now. Were there others on that space that actually got targeted?
I can't recall. I'm not 100% sure. I don't see you can't see everybody that's on those spaces. You can only go down about 4 or 5 rows. The host can see who's on. And I was I popped in as a guest because of the subject matter. I wasn't, I don't even think I spoke on that spaces. I think I was more of a listener. And I think Steve might've been on that spaces out of Texas. And I don't know if Beer Vet was on there or not. I know he is connected to a lot of people. He has a lot of influencers he's close to and friends with. And he's working with his local sheriff's department, who he's personal friends with. And they're on it out there. They think they're going to find out who's doing it out there.
Good.
And they think it. So that's good to hear. Now FBI is involved in all of them now. They're contacting everybody directly. They want to do interviews, get as much information as possible. I think with technology, the way it is this day and age, they're going to be able to find out something.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I think so too.
An FBI. We have an FBI that's not going to put up with this crap now.
Correct. And that was the point. When you talk to the FBI agent, Mike, you felt some confidence in that, I would think at this point. Or it's not the old FBI running things anymore. We hope, right. We hope those people are gone.
Oh, because you being conservative, they probably wouldn't even help you. You would be local law enforcement that would have to do what they have to do.
But they think, I would think too, I think you're right, Mike, with with technology these days, they should be able to trace it to the location already. The person, I hope that happens. And I don't know enough about technology to know if I'm sitting right here in my Florida home, if I can make a call based on another area code, or what I think you basically, you can do that as well. I know that I feel because I get spam calls on my cell from my current area code, and they're nowhere near my area code. Right. So I feel there's that technology out there that can do that. Hopefully they can trace it back to somebody, and you talked about your wife. She doing better. I mean, is this, the security system, I'm certain, will help her feel a little bit more confident. But we hope she's doing
better. Yeah, she's doing better. She understands. She doesn't, she's not a big fan of me on social media with X and stuff. And, but, she understands that's who I am. So she doesn't interfere with it or try to tell me to tone it down, even though she did ask me to lay low for a little while. I said, that's what they want.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not laying low. I said, I want to continue to speak my mind. I'm not afraid of these people. The only thing that gives me pause is the InfoWars reporter was shot in front of his home or nearby.
That's correct.
But that's a much bigger deal. He's actually a reporter, and they've been targeting Alex Jones for years and his people.
Yeah.
But I don't think these might be isolated incidences, and there may be more. Cat Turd's been swatted 4 times. So, and he was swatted Friday night too, about the same time I was.
Friday. Yep.
About the same time I was.
Wow.
Well, I guess what my opinion is, and again, it's my opinion. They go after you like this. People like you, people like Alex Jones and all them, Cat Turd and all that stuff that has a following. They don't, if you were putting out false information, they would just post that this is false information. Here's the evidence. But the fact that they're trying to do it this way tells me that you guys are hitting a nerve, and it's the truth. And the only way they can go against that is to fight against this by having these stupid, childish situations happen where they send people after you. So that is, in my opinion, to you, is that you're hitting a nerve because you're telling the truth.
Yep.
They don't like that. The left does not like that. They can't have that.
They can't have that. Hey, Mike, I want to play a couple comments here from some people that are listening. First one is this one. It says, serious question. How are so many SWAT teams or Leos going to homes armed and ready to shoot based on non-traceable tips? This is from Live and Let Live on X. I think the SWAT team, you can answer that question, Mike, if you want. I mean, I personally think that they're getting a call. They have to address the call one way or another. And the only way to address it is not normally calling the home. they're going to have to go out there and physically see for themselves if it's happening. It's a waste of resources. It's dangerous for everybody involved, including SWAT. So I don't think they're, I think it's just like any law enforcement. They have to go investigate it, right?
Yeah, I think they get the call. They're not sure. Fortunately enough, the deputy contacted his sheriff and asked him if he thought this was legit. The sheriff told him, I know Mike. I said, he doesn't think it's legit, but you need to go check it out. The call came in. They said the call came from an 869 area code, but they're not sure, if it's some kind of phone that masks where it's really from. So that's why they show up. But they weren't, on their knees pointing guns at the house. Yeah. This was a small area. Now in the bigger cities, they send a lot more people, and they do have guns drawn because they encounter different things in a bigger city than they do a small community. So it's different based on your location.
Yeah, I agree.
And then that was the follow-up to this too. It says people are not able to make code enforcement complaints without giving their information, but we can send armed officers to a home anonymously. Yeah, that seems
that's the truth.
Well, think of the first law enforcement agency that doesn't show up, and there is something going on. And that's what really is bothering me, is because if we get to this point, when something really does come in that they have to take seriously, will they? And that's what concerns me. But again, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to create anarchy. They're trying to do this stuff. But I hope you and your wife stay safe. And hopefully they back off. Because with different things. But I think the FBI is going to catch them. I do too. I don't think they're going to put up with this stuff. I
don't think so, because it's still continuing, and it's going to continue. Right. I think, as long as they keep getting away with it, and
you'll know, until they get caught.
Right. Yeah, until they get caught. Mike, I know we're getting short on time here. Real quick though, what's next for you? And I'm telling you, people, if you don't follow Mike on X, please. It's at Real Hickory. Please go follow him. When he says he's not giving up, it's true. He didn't give up.
Nope.
You haven't stopped from the time it happened till now, and that's admirable, because some people would, honestly, or they would, take into consideration that, maybe I should back off a little. I mean, I don't want to. No, you're doing the right thing, and that's fighting and keep fighting out there for it. What's next for you? Got big plans? I mean, you're growing on X like crazy. I mean, you say you're not an influencer. I think you should probably.
I think once you have a certain level,
your stance on your own self, sir.
Once you get a certain amount of following, I think you can consider yourself an influencer.
Yeah. What's next for you? What are you going to do?
I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing.
Good.
If I had children at home still, it'd probably be a different consideration.
Yeah.
Would never jeopardize my children's lives, especially young children. Some of these people, I don't, know if they have children or not. It just seems like they're being targeted. But I'm not, I'm not going to change the way I live, other than being just more cognizant of my surroundings, being aware, and just keep going about my business. It's a small community. Everybody knows everybody. We're all friends here. We don't always agree politically, and but we can have the discussion of ideas and different things of that nature without it resorting to this type of stuff.
As it should. I'm going to ask you a political question, because I saw you posted this morning about the whole auto pen and pardons. Just really honestly switching gears a little bit, what's your thought on this whole auto pen story that's going around out there about Biden signing these pardons through that auto pen when he wasn't even in the country, I don't think, or in the state? What do you think is going to happen with that?
Well, I think Trump putting out his post about, I think he's going to challenge the legality of it with that post. I think he's kind of letting people know that we're going to go ahead and pursue, if we can, accountability. And he wants investigations into all this stuff. Whether it's going to happen or not, I don't know. But he's going to challenge the validity and legality of it. Now, there are some people saying they are legal. But my understanding of a pardon is, if it's granted by the president, it has to be physically present in mind and spirit and signature. Auto pens does not work, but we'll find out. The courts and judges aren't Trump friendly, so see how where that goes. But I never believed any of these preemptive pardons were legal. There have to be crimes committed, and he specifically gave them preemptive pardons. Sidney Powell is on record saying they're not legal. I guess we'll find out if the courts test it, if it's tested in the courts.
Yeah, and it's going to be amazing too, because if this comes out and we find out that this is really what has been going on, you have the left screaming that, Elon Musk, an unelected official, is making decisions within the government, which then what would this auto pen be? Yeah. Just because it's an auto pen that copies his signature doesn't mean, because he's not there, doesn't mean it's legit. Yeah. And so, if I was the left, I'd be ticked off. Well, of course we know they're stupid, but it's the last 4 years, what we suspected, what we, all the MAGA and the conservatives, that he was not running this country. This is more evidence now that shows that he wasn't. And it's upsetting.
Right. He certainly wasn't there in mind. So that already takes the pardons to me in question. But then that happening. Mike, we're gonna let you go. We know you've got short on time. You've got a meeting coming up. Any last words? Any last advice? Any last thing you want to say? The floor is yours.
Just be safe. Be aware of your surroundings. Don't be intimidated. Be calm. Use common sense. If you suspect that you might become a victim of swatting, or if you receive pieces, I would immediately call your local law enforcement agencies, all of them. Report what happened and what you believe this could possibly be leading to as a SWAT attempt, and let them know that you want to be called immediately if there's a call coming in that you're holding up, or there's guns in your house and people are held hostage. I think if you do that, you can diffuse the situation pretty quickly, and have law enforcement come out anyway. But at the same time, let them know everything's cool, that they don't have to come guns a-blazing.
Yep, that's smart and wise advice.
Awesome.
Again, Mike, please go follow him at Real Hickory on X if you are not. There's a lot of strong patriots that are sacrificing, this kind of terrorism on themselves, just by speaking their mind and being America first and being patriotic and doing the right thing. And for that, their crimes are, being MAGA. And that's right.
Patriotic
and being patriotic. Stay safe, Mike. Obviously we follow you on X. If anything develops, anything you hear back from law enforcement, you want to come back and tell us and tell our audience, we'd love to have you.
Yeah, absolutely.
We will stay in touch, and please reach out if you want to come back on. Honestly, anytime, you are more than welcome.
Okay.
Y'all have a great day, and thanks for having me on.
Thank you. Be safe.
God
you and
bless.
your wife.
God bless.
Talk to you soon.
Same to you.
All right, thanks. Mike, thank you for coming on.
Play something. Aiken, welcome back. I know you're on the road. You're
driving,
but yes, it would be
all
worse.
The comments out there, guys.
It'd be worse if they took no precaution and it turned out to be a hoax. And their lives are conundrum. Absolutely. Tarna, you're correct. Temple was
swatted 8 times. Yes. Yep. Got to fight.
Got to fight against tyranny.
You're right.
Yes, M's dad. We have to.
You have to.
This is just.
Yep.
So M's dad, if Donald J. Trump can get the pardons overturned, it's on like Donkey Kong. Yes, it is.
Let's start with Fauci. I agree.
Yeah.
No, I mean, there's enough people to start with.
Morning,
good
Kurt.
morning, Crane. Yep.
So,
folks, I want to again. Thanks, Mike. Keep fighting.
Yeah, Mike, if you're still there, I see you. But there's M's dad said thank you and keep the fight. Here's another one, Buckeye.
Thank you,
Mike. Stay strong and don't back down.
We can't. Yeah, we absolutely can't.
Tarna does follow you.
Good. Yeah, all of them. Yeah, that's right.
Live and let live. Welcome. By the way, live and let live. God bless you all, and God bless our nation and president. Absolutely. Yep. And
absolutely, that's right.
Thanks, Mike. And Tarna, again, stay safe, Mike. We have great listeners.
We do. Honestly, we do. I think we do. Honestly, have the best ones out there. To be honest with you, they're smart, intelligent. They get it. I think pretty much everybody on here is
following. That's we attract smart, intelligent people.
Yeah, okay, that's what we attract.
We make them feel better.
Exactly. Again, follow Mike Engleman at Real Hickory on X. And he's not wrong. When this happened to him, and I saw it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I reached out to Sean and Mike. Mike responded immediately. So that's how we were able to get him on as quickly as we could. He never did stop. the next day, he talked about the pizza delivery. I did see that. And then he went on to just keep posting what he's posting, folks. That's our First Amendment right. That's our rights to keep fighting. It's how Donald Trump became president again. It's because we never gave up. They want us to.
I got a little on the First Amendment. I got a
little story on that.
A little thing I want to talk about in terms of protests and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, we didn't do it at the beginning of the show, so let's. You want to hear from Grit Gear and Lock and Load?
Yes, I do.
We will be right back, folks. Stay tuned. More show to come.
Grit is defined as firmness of character, unyielding courage in the face of hardship or danger. At Grit Gear Apparel, we honor all military, police, fire, public service, and patriotic Americans, both men and women regardless of color, creed, or religion. Our brand represents the love and freedom for our country, the heroism of all our men and women, and the principles of what this wonderful country was built on. Our goal is to regenerate the sense of patriotism and to spark the American pride within us, to stand together in the toughest times and become victorious, to preserve all our freedoms, to honor our flag, and to respect the men and women who have fought and died for us to have these freedoms. Wear our brand with pride, with a sense of patriotism, and as a statement for the love of our country. Whether you're military, public official, or civilian, our brand is for you. Together we stand as Americans.
You stand as Americans. Please go support Grit Gear Apparel at gritgearapparel.com. Buckeye, thank you for that again. And also, again, lockandloadcoffee.com. True America First Patriots, true hardworking Americans, family owned, veteran supported, amazing products. Use coupon code 2GUYS. You get 10% off your entire order. Not just once, every single time you order. 10% off. So please go support Grit Gear and Lock and Load, please.
Great company.
Small business. You're helping a small community, a small town, and you're helping great patriots in this country. Jim, let's go on with a little bit more show here today. We got into a little bit. I saw that Mike posted about that auto pen, so I wanted to kind of get his opinion on it. It's really a strange set of circumstances, if you ask.
There's a few things that bother me about this, and the fact that an auto pen can be used, is concerning to me.
Mm-hmm.
And like Mike made the comment that some things could be legal and everything else. Mm-hmm. If he was not present and that pen was used, anything that has been signed, think about what has been signed should not be allowed.
Yeah. Did we see him sign all those executive orders? No, of course not.
No.
Yeah. Again, you have to be in the right mind and present. And 2 out of the 3, I think, weren't even there. So it's that part obviously is harder to prove, but this whole auto pen is going to be interesting. So stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned for it, folks.
There could be more. There could be more. We're going to keep on the screen at the bottom scrolling there. Mike Engleman, again, great guy. Small town. Literally, that's the big part. He lives in a town of about 2,800 people, Jim.
Yep.
He has about 250,000 followers on X.
I know where it's at.
Yeah. And it's I know he doesn't consider himself one of the big guys, and I get that. I mean, there are people that got millions, and
right.
That's pretty 250,000. Jim, we know the struggle on gaining followers on X. It's a struggle. You've got to do it, and you got to
get the right people to share. Yeah,
you do. Yeah. And and also follow us on X at 2GUYS12.
Please.
Why not?
We have a long way to go, but we want to get there. So.
Yeah, I mean, we can influence people, right, Jim?
Oh, we are influencers.
Yeah, we already are. We're influencers, all right.
We make people smarter.
We do, and smile, Jim, and that's our job. Anyways, follow Mike again. It was great to have him on again. It's at Real Hickory. Moving on, a couple things.
Real quick, can I? Whole thing with folks, the protest. Okay. I was going to show.
You talking about the Tesla protest?
Real quick. Everything. Okay. I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this real quick, and we can talk in all of this, but it bothers me, so I looked it up.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching CNN. We didn't have a lot of show prep time because we didn't know how long this. So that was my error. But I had some videos I wanted to show from CNN that was talking about protesting. Like this Khalil, this kid from Colombia. And folks, you are allowed to protest,
Of
but
course,
there's a couple stipulations with it. It has to be peaceful,
Mhm.
and it can't be on public or private property.
Yep.
And if it is on a public property, you have to have a what do you call those things?
A permit.
A permit to be
Big
able
words.
to do
Big
it.
words, Jim. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So you saw what went on at Columbia. They kept Jewish students from going to school, the
They did.
classes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They kept people from getting in and out of those buildings.
Mm-hmm.
CNN, this is how dangerous they are at this point in time.
Correct.
Because the left is unhinged.
Yep.
Their base is unhinged. It's completely unhinged. And it's going to lead to violence.
It is.
Somebody is going to die. And the left, the AOCs, the Crockett's, the Presleys, they want this to happen. They want the police to shoot a protester.
Yeah.
They want this to happen. So they can sit there and say, see, they're trying to take our rights away from us when we aren't the ones. President Trump is not taking rights away. They want to take the rights away from us.
Correct.
They are supporting 20% of the population, folks.
20%, which is why their numbers keep dropping and dropping and dropping. I'll
get thing, folks.
I'll get right into it.
Molotov cocktails.
Yeah. You just can't do it. I'll get into the Democrats' numbers. Lowest approval ratings in their history. Is that what I'm to understand?
That's what I heard
from NBC. I'm sure it's not biased at all, but we'll play this here real quick.
Toward the Democratic Party are at an historic low. 55% view the party negatively, and there's a divide among Democrats. On Friday, 9 Democrats, led by Minority Chuck Schumer and Independent Angus King, who caucuses with them, voted with Republicans to advance a short-term spending bill to keep the government open.
As bad as the CR is, I believe allowing Donald Trump to take even much more power via a government shutdown is a far worse option. A shutdown would allow DOJ to shift into overdrive.
Now, before the vote, Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi released a statement defying Schumer, writing, quote, "Democrats must not buy into this false choice. The party divisions were on display."
Today was a bad day for the country. And I won't sugarcoat it. Today was also a bad day.
It's going to be a bad day for you. Dan Bongino started today.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a bad time for you, buddy.
Are here again.
For the Democratic Party.
In this case, CR stands for complete resignation.
I think there is a deep sense of outrage.
Here's the new leader in the
which is very scary.
It's an unacceptable, unconscionable, and un-American spending bill.
Aren't these the people that were just for the CR? Like,
yeah, and we got a little bit.
People?
We have some information on this bill that was passed. It makes all this kind of funny.
Yep.
Is it time for new leadership in the Senate?
Next question.
What leverage do we have? Democrats keep showing up at every night fight with a casserole.
Oh wow, it was the casserole.
He's a douche, but
folks, if you're not familiar with this bill, it is the same bill the Democrats passed last year, with one exception.
Yep.
Nothing can be added. It's free.
Oh, therein lies the problem. And
it's the
Trump
same bill.
Yeah,
Trump wanted the same bill they passed. They're just extending it with one caveat.
Yeah.
No more spending. It's free.
You know what else I wanted to play today, Jim?
This is how stupid they think we are.
Yeah. How bad are they trying to push Mark Kelly as the next golden boy in their party? Right? This guy's a lunatic, by the way.
More from, I think, North Carolina. I think he concerns me a little more.
He does. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. But Mark Kelly's all over the place. And this
Hero,
is how,
thank you for your service. But
I don't. Yeah, I take away nobody's service. That has nothing to do with it. I mean, you still could be a lunatic,
right?
But amazing how in 50 days, we've gotten Democrats to absolutely abandon the EV movement and go out and buy gas guzzling Chevy Tahoes.
These people were
shocking, isn't it?
Praising Elon Musk years ago.
It was 6 months ago. And now all of a sudden they're burning and trading in their cars, and people are going around keying them. And of course, we know the people they've caught destroying the charging stations and at the dealerships. And Alex Jones had an amazing clip of him going past protests at a I don't know if you saw it on X, going past the protesters at a Tesla dealership with a megaphone, literally just absolutely going out and destroying them, as Alex Jones just does. But I just thought that was interesting. The Democrats' numbers are down, and yet they are still battling the 20% of the issues that Americans absolutely despise, right? They're still championing those. I want to play a couple other things. One thing I want to play is, I got to be honest with you. Out of all the picks.
Have you lied to us before?
Oh, that's true. That's what people say. Well, I'll be honest about this because I wasn't sure. I mean, that's kind of what I mean. Out of all the picks that Trump has chosen for his cabinet, Marco Rubio was the one I was a little on the fence with, right? And so that's the honest part. And you know that. I said that when he picked him. I stand corrected, I think, at this point. Yeah, I mean, it's a short 50 days in, but boy, is this guy solid in this role. It might be the role of a lifetime for him, the role he was meant to do. Here he is on Face the Nation, kind of explaining the recent attacks on the Sunnis, or who's not Sunnis, Houthis. Yeah. Which
are they really? I mean, Houthis, Sunnis, Tunis, Coonies. I don't know what
the Goonies. I don't know. Hey, you guys. I mean, it could be that. I don't know. But here is Marco Rubio explaining on Face the Nation exactly what is taking place and why. This is just poetic, almost, the way he explains it. So.
And the problem here is that this is a very important shipping lane, and in the last year and a half, the last 18 months, the Houthis have struck or attacked 174 naval vessels of the United States, attacking the U.S. Navy directly 174 times, and 145 times they've attacked commercial shipping. So we basically have a band of pirates, with guided precision anti-ship weaponry, and exacting a toll system in one of the most important shipping lanes in the world. That's just not sustainable. We are not going to have these people controlling which ships can go through and which ones cannot. And so your question is, how long will this go on? It will go on until they no longer have the capability to do that.
Amen.
Yep.
Well, what does U.S. intelligence tell us at this point? Because the U.S. had been conducting strikes for some time, but has not stopped the Houthis. So what's going to be different right now?
So they've been conducting them for a long time, but hasn't stopped them. Who was doing it?
Yeah.
Who was doing the retaliation at the time? He'll explain. But
okay.
Yeah. He'll explain.
Every once in a while they did, and they were empty, by the way.
And not only that, but what they did. So here goes. Here's Marco Rubio again.
You have more fidelity in the intelligence that would make this more successful?
Well, those strikes were retaliation strikes. So they launched one missile, we hit the missile launcher, or we sent something to do it. This is not a message. This is not a one-off. This is an effort to deny them the ability to continue to constrict and control shipping. And it's just not going to happen. We're not going to have these guys, these people with weapons able to tell us where our ships can go, where the ships of all the world can go, by the way. It's not just the U.S. We're doing the world a favor. We're doing the entire world a favor by getting rid of these guys and their ability to strike global shipping. That's the mission here, and it will continue until that's carried out. That never happened before. The Biden administration didn't do that. All the Biden administration would do is they would respond to an attack. These guys would launch one rocket, we'd hit the rocket launcher. That's it. This is an effort to take away their ability to control global shipping in that part of the world. That's just not going to happen anymore.
And it could.
So this will continue until that's finished.
It could involve ground raids?
Well, those are military decisions to be made, but I've heard no talk of ground raids.
We're going to tell the enemy what we're doing
right now. I can tell you that as of last night, some of the key people involved in those missile launches are no longer with us, and I can tell you that some of the facilities that they use are no longer existing, and that will continue. Look, it's bottom line, easy way to understand it, okay? These guys are able to control what ships can go through there. They've attacked the U.S. Navy. 174 times they've attacked the United States Navy. We're not going to have people sitting around with the missiles attacking the U.S. Navy. It's not going to happen, not under President Trump.
Oh, Marco Rubio, keep doing what you're doing, sir.
On that same show, he talked about Khalil and the protest.
Yeah, I know. And he did say that. And he said if he was to tell us ahead of time that what he was going to do, what he was doing over here, we would not have let him in. But now that he's here, everybody on the left is championing, oh, he needs his freedom of speech. He needs to stay. He's got the right to protest. That's not what he's doing, folks. And
he has the right to protest. Nobody's questioning that.
If he was
That's
just
not
doing
what he's
that,
doing. That's not
correct.
what he's doing.
Correct. If he was just doing that.
And Rubio, he's doing a great job when Democrats are coming out and saying if they knew what he was going to do, they wouldn't have voted for him.
Yep. Correct.
So he's doing the right thing.
Correct. Correct. I'm trying to say comments. You're the comment guy.
Yeah, M's dad. Yeah, she did. She tried a gotcha, and it didn't work. It never has.
It never does.
The Trump people coming on their shows,
it baffles us why they keep having them on.
Yep.
To be honest with you, they keep making them look like fools.
Yeah.
And when Rubio said that we are doing the world a favor, she responded by yes. Like she acknowledges it.
Yep.
I'm
yes,
starting
M's
to like.
dad. I like this. Yep. He's.
Never thought I'd get there. That's me too.
I've liked him all along. I wasn't one of those people, but I see everyone's point.
I thought he was part of the establishment.
I see and I saw the point and everything. But there's
I was afraid
JD
he's another
Vance.
Paul Ryan type.
JD Vance was on me, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I wasn't completely sold on JD Vance. I like JD Vance. I just wasn't sold on him. Now I am 100% sold on the guy. You helped me understand it because he's from Ohio, and so so there things happen. We look at these things and we have to, like Pam Bondi for an example. A lot of us are okay. You keep going on these shows, great. Keep going on them. That's great. That's fantastic. What's happening?
What is happening?
What's going on? I like Pam Bondi. I think she's going to end up being a good attorney general. Is she though? It's like
I know these things take time, and I know we got to be patient, and I know that, and there's people that firmly believe in her, and that's fine. That's fine. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
Yep.
Jim, do you have anything else on that? Because if not Bill Maher got schooled on tariffs. If you want to hear that.
So good. This was so good, folks. If you haven't seen this,
okay, I'll play it here, and then we'll get on to yours. He got schooled on it. It's just a perfect response
to the question about manufacturing in the 70s.
I think Governor Shapiro was on this episode too, from Pennsylvania. I think.
Oh, I don't blame you. I'll go back to that
too. So the reason people want to go back to the 70s is in the 70s, the largest share of our GDP was in the middle class. And that was not separate from the fact that 25% of our economy was in manufacturing.
Right, the largest share of our GDP
was in the middle class, the biggest chunk, the middle class,
most
people
of
who
what
were
was
middle
produced
income.
came from the middle, and now it comes from what? The rich.
Now the top 20% controls over 50% of the GDP. Our economy was an upward funnel of wealth, and the largest share, which used to be in manufacturing, which gave a lot of working class people a middle class standard of living, now the largest share is in real estate and finance, meaning that asset-rich Americans are controlling over 50% of the GDP, and they have left the working class out of all of that prosperity that was generated. That manufacturing is still being done. It's just being done in other countries. It is still
for wages we will not work for.
That's exactly right. You're right, Bill. That's what the tariffs are for. They are to make American workers more competitive in the global market. Why are we accepting that there should be a race to the bottom? China, what is its competitive advantage over us? It's that it pays slave wages. Why should we accept that? They're still manufacturing our PPE, our pharmaceuticals, our cars. They're making all that stuff. Trump says there are 5 industries that we cannot have any kind of national security without having a stake in them. Pharmaceuticals, lumber, steel, aluminum, and I forget what the 5th one was. But these are really important that we have a stake in the manufacturing of the things that we need as a nation so that when China decides that it wants to go to war against us, we're not relying on them for steel and aluminum in order to fight them.
Okay, well, at least that's an answer.
That's an answer. That was his answer.
That's an answer.
That's the answer.
Oh my God.
Not an answer, the answer. That was an absolute masterclass on what tariffs are for.
Yeah, it's why,
and
folks,
why.
When you saw the stock markets, that's what everybody wants to do. I saw a post one of the few times I checked Facebook. There was a person who posted, he had great. I just love this. Sleepy Joe, they were defending him, had a Great economy. I love that one.
Yeah, me too.
From the great economy,
Printing
they also had the inflation was going down. Okay. And the stock market showed record highs up there. Well, folks, when you print money, the stock market loves that. They love that
when
monopoly
you print
money. They love the monopoly money.
Jacks it right up.
But it stopped.
It had to
President
be a course
Trump's
correction
doing
on
it the right way, doing it the way it has to happen. Yeah, there's going to be a little slight hint here.
Yep.
But look at what's going on with the egg prices. Look what's going on with the oil prices, and look the interest rates are coming down.
Correct.
But
mortgage rates are coming down. Mortgage applications have gone up. Our recruitment has gone up in the military. Prices are coming down. Gas has come down. All this stuff. And
CNN and MSNBC will never
do it. Jim, you got a video before we get into what is our exciting top 5 today?
Eggs prices, folks. Here, this was kind of funny because this was on one of the major networks, folks.
Oh, no way.
There is some good news. These are staples in all of our fridges. A lot of people love eggs. Many of us have them. And finally, I have some good news for you. The USDA says wholesale egg prices dropped for the 3rd straight week. And it's a pretty big drop. The average wholesale price nationwide fell to $4.15 per dozen. So let's put that in perspective. That is down about $2.70 in just 1 week. Prices were over $8 at the end of last month. So part of the reason for the steep drop is people were put off by those high prices. So demand is lower.
Sorry, I had to pause it. The reason is because you killed a ton of chickens.
Well, she's getting into that with this next one.
Okay.
Other reasons experts say are because bird flu outbreaks have decreased. And get this, Easter
You killed them. You didn't.
Is really late this year, so demand isn't that high right now. However, USDA also says declines haven't been reflected at store shelves yet, so you still may see those higher prices. But experts say consumers should start to see those prices drop by the time Easter finally rolls around, just in time to dye those Easter eggs.
And just in, she was fired from ABC. That she is. You can't go on those networks and talk facts.
You cannot.
You can't.
They don't know how to accept them. You heard her response at the end. Whoever she was talking to, I don't know who, but was going, funny how they'll come down just in time for Easter. That's exactly, I'm sure, what her point was going to be next on that end of it.
Folks, this is getting ridiculous. But I
don't want to brag or nothing, Jim, but I did buy 18 eggs, the other end. I don't want to brag.
I had to take out a loan, but I got them. Just kidding.
Back then, I bought eggs all through the whole thing. I never stopped buying eggs.
Folks, they just can't stop.
No.
Listen to what Crockett, one of the leaders of the Democratic Party. Just listen.
Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of New York. Some of your fellow House Democrats say, and not just progressives, by the way, we've heard that moderates have said this too, that they're ready to support her. To challenge Chuck Schumer in a Democratic primary. Would you get behind that?
That's 4 years from now. If you were asking me at least in 2 years, then I would have an absolute answer. But I can tell you that there are a lot of people that are watching his leadership in this moment. This is the moment. We don't even know what elections will look like in 4 years if we will have elections. And so I definitely think
that's what I wanted to point out, folks. It's happening.
If we're going to have elections again, here we go. How did she become? How did this happen? Texas, what happened?
The guy running against her is pretty. It could be interesting. We'll see.
Yeah,
but
that younger, fresher leadership may be something that many of us, not just depending on what part of the spectrum you're on, but many Americans may be looking for, especially in the state of New York.
How to take on the Republicans is a big topic of discussion among Democrats. Last week, you were one.
Okay, so I guess. With that being said,
her voice is the main cause of constipation.
I hope, with all hope, that Pete Buttigieg, Crockett, Presley, and AOC continue to be the leaders of the Democrats.
I do too.
I do too. With keep all it going. Because if you want, they're the reason.
We'll have 70 senators.
Can you imagine sitting back, Schumer and some of these Fetterman, and just sitting back going, these lunatics have got to go.
I know. And until that happens, this is what's going to happen.
If you want to look at what's going on with the Democrat Party, those individuals right there, the squad.
Yep.
They are they could deal with Bernie Sanders' crazy socialist ideas.
Oh,
they
geez.
could deal with that.
For 80
Pocahontas,
years.
they could deal with the crap she did. This is a whole nother.
It's a whole nother level of
this is
politics.
A completely crazy.
Here's M's dad. Oh man, I fell asleep listening to it.
It's not hard to because it's usually Trump.
Yeah.
Or we're and again, folks, let's enjoy this last election because according to her, we're never going to have another one.
We're never again. That's fine. Then maybe we just keep Trump in forever.
Oh, by the way, AOC with one of her latest videos admitted that undocumented are voting in her district.
Oh, I know she did. I do. Jim, you know what time it is? Top 5 professional sports dynasties. Show note, though, I got to tell you, this is one of 4 2 Guys, 1 Coup shows this week, guys.
Yeah.
Listen to this line. Listen to what's happening.
Oh, it's going to be awesome.
Wednesday, our normally scheduled time, 10:30 Eastern. We will have our show, and we will have Tanya Glenn, who is a licensed therapist and deals with post-traumatic stress disorder specifically, but,
right.
And works with the Corporal Chatto organization. Warrior Shield Foundation has her own practice. She'll be here to tell us all about that. She's amazing.
Yes.
Wednesday evening is our second Warrior Shield special, where we will have Steve Cleverly, who is the Sergeant of Arms, as well as Julie Oligschlager, who is the mom of Corporal Chad Eric Oligschlager, which is a tough name for me to say still today. But she's vice president and co-founder of the Corporal Chatto Foundation. And then Friday, fingers crossed, it's currently scheduled because they're out of session.
We will have
Friday. We're going to have a special Friday show. It'll be 10 a.m. Eastern time.
Yep.
Because we will have Representative Tim Burchett on. Again, if you don't follow his X, you're missing it.
When it comes out of voting.
That guy is amazing on X. But Representative Tim Burchett. Awesome. So 4 shows this week.
Yes, I did, M's dad. I raised the roof.
Yeah. Is it not exciting? So folks, first to fourth this week. Jim, let's get to our top 5 real quick if we can. What is yours? So top 5 pro sports
in my
dynasties.
Heart. This is not in my heart. Okay, because my heart obviously number 1 would be the Big Red Machine of the Reds. And then after that would be the 90 Reds when they won the World Series. It wasn't much of a dynasty. They just won once. But hey,
they won.
It's my dynasty. So,
they won.
Because the Bengals, I have no dynasty there.
Well,
so
more so than we do.
Number 5.
You might be shocked. So go ahead.
Number 5, the 1980s Edmonton Oilers with Wayne Gretzky, Mark Messier, Yari Curry, and Paul Coffey.
Yep.
I did not watch a lot of hockey in my life, but I watched when they played.
Oh, you could not.
Whenever Gretzky and them played, 6 cup finals, folks. They won 5 of them in 84, 85, 87, 88, and 90.
Yep.
That's
amazing.
Pretty solid. That is
I went with more rings than I did.
My end. Also too, you have to go with what it meant. I know. They brought somebody like me who wasn't a
big hockey guy into hockey.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree.
So
I agree. No, you're right. No, there's no wrong here.
Number 4, the New England Patriots. I'm going to get into that. Why they're number 4. Okay. From 2001 to 2019, they made 9 Super Bowl appearances.
It's amazing.
6
That's a dynasty.
Super Bowl champions. 2001, 2003, 2004, 2014, 16, and 18.
It's amazing.
During a time when there's a salary cap in the NFL.
I know. You're right.
You can't outspend. You can't. It just took. I'm sorry. I know all of you people out there that are Brady haters, but it took the GOAT.
Oh no, Brady. I mean, you could hate Brady, but the guy was phenomenal.
And absolutely, without question, this was more impressed how they did it. Okay,
I agree.
Number 3 had to. Okay, I could have used any Yankees.
You could have.
Really,
I'll tell you why I lowered
this one.
Yeah,
this one was more because it's the 1947 and 1964 Yankees with Yogi Berra, Mickey Mantle, Roger Maris, Whitey Ford. 15 World Series appearences, 10
Yep.
World Series titles 47, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53,
56, 58,
61, 62.
Yep.
Absolutely.
No doubt.
And I think of the Yankee dynasties, there was 3 of them.
Yep, there was.
Of the Yankees dynasties, I think this was the best. That's why I only put 1 on there.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Number 2.
No doubt.
Chicago Bulls.
No doubt.
Jordan Bulls.
No doubt.
Pippen, Rodman. 6 appearances in the finals. 6 championships. 91,
amazing.
92, 93.
Yep.
96, 97, 98. 3-peats.
2
of them.
3-peats.
Now, the only reason I get it, this last one is going to be maybe some people are going to be pushing back, but the number of championships you can't deny. The Boston Celtics, Bill Russell's era from 1956 to 1969. Folks, 12 final appearances, 11.
Only lost to the St. Louis Hawks, I believe. Is the actual who
7, 59, 60. Oh, here we go. 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66.
Yep.
Okay.
Correct.
that's
a dynasty.
I think Bob Cousy was on that team. There was others on that team as well, but we call it the Bill Russell Celtics. But absolutely, those are my top. Those are my top 5.
Correct. They were good. Jim, no doubt about it. We're going to put a Buckeyes list there, and she said she based it on titles over years. I agree with that too, and I'll tell you mine when I do it. So number 5, New York Yankees, 96-03. Four champs. Green Bay Packers, 60-67. Edmonton Oilers, 82-90. 5 cups, perfect. New England Patriots, 6, and Chicago Bulls, 90-98, 6 champions. That's no doubt about it. I
can't argue with that.
Can't argue with any of that.
And the Yankees during that time period, the Yankees, there were some good teams out there.
There were good teams in there. You know, Derek Jeter years were amazing. You know, honestly, the teams in there. I'm going to tell you. So here's my top 5 greatest professional sports dynasties. Yes, I took the name a minute longer. I will continue my tradition of doing that. Here's how I base mine before I even get started. I went decade. I only went 10 years. I want to say who in a 10-year span, what team would have the greatest dynasties? So in my head, that's what I wanted to do. You know, I want to look at the 10-year span. I know I can go 20 years. I don't know how long a dynasty actually takes place, but so I just base mine on 10 years and the number of titles in a 10-year span. Having said that, I'm explaining my list before I even start. So number 5, there you go. Chicago Bulls. Regular season record. The Bulls had a regular season record in that time span of 557 and 209. Playoff record. You see that. The championships, 2 back-to-back 3-peat. I mean, 2 3-peats in a 10-year span is absolutely, to me, could put you at number 1, right? It could put you at number 1. Number 5 of mine was the Chicago Bulls. Number 4, the Montreal Canadiens from 1970 to 79.
That was out. I had them outside looking in.
You did. I know. And that's the same. I had Edmonton that way, but only because I based mine on the 10-year span. Is the only reason I put the Montreal Canadiens in there. Absolutely an unbelievable run that they had in the 70s. My number 3, Cleveland Browns. Why do you laugh? Why would you laugh at that? If you could take the 27 Yankees, why can you not take the 1946 to 1955 Cleveland Browns?
Okay, that's fine. That's whatever.
What do you mean? It's fine. Do you know the stats, or have you never paid attention?
You're good. It's your list. It's your list.
Why would you whatever you want? If you're taking a 10-year span, Jim, and that's why I did this. If you're taking a 10-year span, why would you not take that?
There are like 6 teams during this time.
9 championships, even including when they joined the NFL.
6. What was it? 6 teams.
When they continued on it.
Okay.
9 championships.
It's your list. Put whoever you want on there.
Number 3. If you're going 10-year span, you better include a team that included Jim Brown and stuff on it, buddy. Right. You know, I mean, how can you not?
Not denying
Lou Groza.
I am not denying that they were not a dynasty.
That was a dynasty.
Their top 5. But anyway, go ahead.
Oh, why would 9 out of 10 years not make you a top 5?
You're fine.
No, tell me your reason why 9 out of 10 years wouldn't make you a top 5.
The competition. But anyway, let's not fight. Let's go.
Oh, the competition.
Come on.
The competition. How many teams were there back
I agreed with me.
How many teams?
Agreed. The competition wasn't as good.
They joined the NFL and still won the championship.
Go ahead.
Was the competition better? You saying the amount of teams was how many teams were in the 1927 New York Yankees?
Who is number 2, Dale?
How many teams, Jim?
Who is number 2, Dale?
How many teams in the 27 Yankees?
Yeah, but they're not on my list.
Oh, how many teams?
They weren't on my list.
So you're telling me the amount of teams. Okay. You guys laugh, but 9 championships out of 10 years. A professional team.
I couldn't have the Reds on there. Go ahead. Number 2.
Because they won 2.
Number 2.
In 10 years.
Who's your number 2?
The New York Yankees, 49 to 58.
I can't
Is
argue
that
with
okay? Or
yes, that's perfectly fine.
Well, I don't know. It seems to me that it's right around the same time frame, but I'm not sure that that's okay now. I'm not so sure the 49 to 58 Yankees. I don't think they are. I think my list is bogus.
Yeah, one is bogus.
Buckeye. Oh my God, I agree with Jim. What's this? It's only because we're Browns fans, and you can't see past the fact that we suffer and we've been brainwashed like the left into thinking one thing when in truth they were a dynasty.
Okay,
there, I said what I said.
2. I agree with number 2. Absolutely, 100%.
Oh, you agree with okay. Yep. And number 1, the Boston Celtics. But again, I'm not so sure the competition was as strong, so I'm not sure they
had the Lakers during that time.
Well, okay. Who else?
The Lakers.
Okay. And who else?
The Lakers.
You know, when the Browns joined the NFL and they won the championship, they had the Packers, they had the Colts.
Stop.
No, I'm pissed off.
I can
because
tell Nick,
you people
by the way, too, were during that time.
I'm just kidding you. I don't care. Jim, I really don't care. It's my list, and that's how I do it.
And that's what I said from the beginning. Put whatever the hell you want on there.
I mean, you could have put the Reds on, but nobody here would have agreed that 2 years counts.
Crane Man would have.
Crazy, yeah.
But
he's equally as delusional.
This is a typical Colts fan. They refuse.
I refuse to acknowledge the Patriots as a dynasty.
I would complain about that.
Yeah.
But the San Francisco 49ers would never appear on my list.
You already put agreed the attention. Why do you keep putting that up there?
Accidentally. It was an accident. Oops. But it was
Let's not argue and bicker over who agreed with who.
But that's what we do. Darn, I love hearing the arguments.
I love hearing the arguments because that's what it's all about. It's good debate. Jim's wrong. I'm right. That's how arguments work here on this show.
And I have a family member that Buckeye say it isn't so by her agreeing with me. The world's
I know. I mean, you're welcome, Jim. See how I'm a unifier? I bring people together.
Oh, I wouldn't clarify.
Jim, what's Wednesday's top 5? You got it there.
I don't know.
Right in front of you, don't you?
I don't have it right in front of me. No, I do
not.
Jim.
Jim, you're supposed
to. I think I do. No, I don't have it.
Jim.
I know I don't have it. So just calm down.
Oh my God.
We can do vacation spots if you want to.
Oh my God. Jim, you had a whole list.
Oh,
we
bucket
went
list.
Over it.
Top 5 bucket lists.
Your top 5 bucket list, folks.
Right.
Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter what it is. You know, if it's your top 5 bucket list is meeting in person, the 2 guys, 1 coup.
Well, why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't
it? Put it on there. I mean, why wouldn't it be? Yeah, top 5 bucket list items, Jim. I like that because that's anything.
Mm-hmm.
That literally could be anything. So that's going to be. Yep,
curious
you're
to
right.
see what other people have.
I am too. You're right, Buckeye. Top 5 bucket list.
My 2 are going to be 1. I don't think I could ever do one of them. One of my top 2, I don't think I can do anymore because I don't think they do it anymore. But my number 1 is going to people are going to look out there and say, "Oh, why haven't you done it?" But anyway.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's like what, go to Walmart or something. I mean, what's on your bucket list? Don't tell me.
Who wouldn't want that as their bucket list?
Jim, great show. That's the first of 4. You and I've got things we got to do. We want to thank Mike again for coming on, Mike Engleman. Remember to go follow him at Real Hickory on X if you are not. Thank you to those that are new that were listening today for the first time. We appreciate you. We appreciate you coming in, making comments, joining the show. We're glad we can start your week off. We hope we started off with not too bad of an argument at the end. Jim was wrong, I'm right. And but Wednesday we will have Tanya Glenn, licensed therapist, deals mainly with veterans and those with PTSD in the veteran community. Amazing person. You're going to love her. We can't wait to have her on. So that's Wednesday. Again, Wednesday night, Warrior Shield special. Friday, interview with Representative Tim Burchett. Full week of Two Guys, One Coup. You guys probably are beside yourself.
We will probably break the internet.
We probably will. So,
Buckeye, I crossed one off today, agreeing with Jim.
With Jim, that's one off our bucket list.
And then, of course, my loving family member, Buckeye, set sights higher. The love and support I get here.
Oh, it's her bucket list.
Tarna. Thank you. We appreciate it. We love you listening.
We love having you here. So, folks, again, thank you. Remember to please go follow Warrior Shield at warriorshield.org, Grit Gear at gritgearapparel.com. I didn't see Rich on there today. We miss you, buddy. And please, or Sharon, follow Lock and Load Coffee at lockandloadcoffee.com. Please purchase from them. Use coupon code 2Guys. Get 10% off your entire order. Shop America US. Please don't forget about them as well. Again, thanks to Mike for coming on. Follow at Real Hickory. Follow Two Guys at Two Guys One Coup on X. Follow and share on Rumble.
And follow the players on the personalities on Patriot Prayer Network, please.
Yep, please do. Yeah, they're doing a killer job. If
we've lost a few, but that's okay.
Go do their own thing. That's fine.
Yep,
that's
nothing wrong with that.
Good luck to them, and that's great. But follow those that are on the Patriots Prayer Network. If you hadn't seen Eddie and Steve's and Maurice's the Native Patriot, Steve Loves Ammo, and of course Eddie Smith. Their interview with Tom McDonald yesterday. Go watch that. It's amazing. Tom McDonald's what a good dude he is. Folks, thank you for joining us. Jim, any last words before we go? Top 5 bucket list on Wednesday.
Top 5 bucket list.
All right, stay tuned for that. And Jim, I don't think we can argue, can we?
Jason Higgins.
Jason Higgins.
Bengals are. It's a happy day in Cincinnati.
Yeah. I thought you said Jason Higgins.
No, it's a happy in Cincinnati. Just want to throw that out
there. It doesn't matter. Burrow's going to get hurt during spring.
No, their defense is going to suck again. But hey, our offense is going to be awesome.
You're going to score 42 points and lose 7 games.
That's exactly right.
But at least we're going to win 10.
That's right. We might get 11.
Myles Garrett, and we've got an all-star class of quarterbacks. Cleveland Browns again. Folks, stay tuned.
Hey, Kirk Cousins, my gosh.
Oh my gosh. I mean, how old can we? I mean, at what point? Why didn't they just go get Aaron Rodgers? 41 years old.
Buckeye, you are completely right. That's why I'm saying that I actually have a chance to make the team at some point.
They're going to sign Jim. You better sign you on defense.
That's right.
You couldn't make it any worse, but you never know. It might surprise you.
Never know.
Jim, I'm done. Folks, good Monday to you. Happy St. Patrick's Day. If you're going to any parades or parties and all that, please be careful out there. We need you all. We appreciate you following us. Jim, thank you for your participation again.
Go out and get that auto pen, folks.
Yep, go get that auto pen. You can sign anything you want or have your loved ones. Doesn't matter. Or people you don't even know. So stay tuned for that story. More to develop on that. Congratulations to Dan Bongino on starting today as Assistant Director of the FBI. Hopefully crap gets done now.
Don't drink too much, and please be careful tonight.
Yep, please be careful. We need you all here.
Watch that green beer.
Jim, see you on Wednesday, my friend. See everybody. Thanks. Bye.